I still remember the exact sound it made when the conference room went quiet. Not dramatic silence, not the kind you hear in movies, just that awkward, uncomfortable pause when people realize something ugly just happened and no one knows where to look. I was standing there with a stack of folders in my hands mid-sentence when Derek laughed and said, "Relax, man. We'll let the adults handle this." A couple people chuckled, not loud, nervous, safe laughter. And just like that, I was dismissed. Again. That was the moment I understood something I'd been avoiding for years. I wasn't invisible because I lacked talent. I was invisible because people had already decided who I was and they were very comfortable with that version of me. You know what I mean? The quiet guy. The background guy. The one you interrupt without apologizing. I didn't always start out that way. When I first joined Halberg Solutions, I was excited in that naive early career way. New badge, new desk, bad coffee, big dreams. I thought if I worked hard enough, kept my head down, delivered results, things would eventually balance out. Merit would win. That's what they tell you, right? Work speaks for itself. But in that office, work only spoke if the right person was speaking for it. Derek was one of those people. Loud, confident, tall guy, expensive watch handshake like he was always closing a deal. He had a way of talking over people while smiling like it was a favor. The first time he cut me off mid-presentation, I laughed it off. Second time, I adjusted my slides. Third time, I started questioning myself. "You're good with numbers," he told me once, clapping my shoulder a little too hard, but strategy. That's more big picture. Don't take it personally. He said it kindly. That was the worst part, because if I pushed back, I'd look defensive. If I stayed quiet, I stayed small. So I stayed quiet. For 2 years, I watched my ideas get rephrased by other people and applauded like they were brand new. I watched Derek take credit for a model I built at 2 a.m. while I nodded along in meetings like it didn't sting. I told myself it was temporary. I told myself patience was maturity. Looking back now, yeah, that was fear. The breaking point didn't come from Derek, though. It came from someone I barely noticed. A junior analyst named Maya. One afternoon, she leaned over my cubicle wall and said, "Hey, why does everyone act like you don't exist in meetings?" She said it casually, like she was asking about the weather. I shrugged. "Guess I'm just not loud enough." She frowned. "That's stupid." That night, I replayed every meeting in my head, every interruption, every joke at my expense, every time I swallowed a response because I didn't want to rock the boat. And something shifted. Not anger exactly, more like clarity. I realized I wasn't being patient. I was participating in my own erasure. So I started preparing differently. Not louder, sharper. I stopped sending my ideas casually. I documented everything. Timestamps, emails, versions. I anticipated objections before they were raised. I learned Derek's habits. How he dismissed things quickly, how he relied on confidence to mask shallow prep. I didn't confront him. I didn't complain. I just got ready. The opportunity came faster than I expected. The company announced a major client pitch. High stakes, executive level, career defining. Derek was leading it. Of course he was. But a week before the presentation, the client requested a deeper analytics breakdown. Suddenly, Derek needed help. He stopped by my desk all charm. "Hey, you're the data guy," he said. "Think you can throw something together?" I looked up at him and smiled. "Already have." The day of the pitch, the room was packed. Executives, legal, even the CEO dialed in. Derek started strong, confident as ever. Slides flew by. Then he reached the analytics section. He paused. Just a fraction of a second, enough for me to notice. He clicked to the next slide and started explaining. He got 2 sentences in before the client interrupted. "Can you clarify how you adjusted for seasonal variance?" Derek froze. He glanced back at the screen. "Well, we took a holistic approach." That's when I spoke. Calmly. Clearly. "Actually, if you look at the third variable on the left, you'll see we isolated it using a rolling average to avoid distortion." Every head turned. Derek stared at me like I'd just broken a rule no one had said out loud. The client leaned forward. You built this, I nodded. Yes. Walk us through it. I didn't rush. I didn't overperform. I just explained the work. Step by step. Clean. Confident. The room changed. You could feel it. Derek tried to jump back in, but the questions kept coming to me. When it ended, the client smiled. That's exactly what we needed. After the meeting, Derek pulled me aside. His voice was tight. You blindsided me. I looked at him. You asked me to help. He scoffed. You could have warned me. I shrugged. You didn't ask. For the first time, he had nothing to say. The fallout was quiet but powerful. People started asking my opinion in meetings, using my name, looping me into emails. Derek stayed polite but distant. A month later, leadership announced a restructuring. New roles, new leads. When my name came up as head of analytics strategy, Derek didn't clap. He didn't look at me at all. Here's the part people love to hear. The victory, the title, the recognition. And, yeah, it felt good. I won't pretend it didn't. But the real win wasn't professional. It was internal. I stopped seeing myself through their lens. I stopped confusing silence with professionalism. I learned that being underestimated is only an advantage if you decide to use it. A few weeks after the promotion, Derek stopped by my office. No audience this time. He hesitated, then said, I guess I misjudged you. I leaned back in my chair. You didn't misjudge me, I said. You just never bothered to look. He nodded slowly, like that truth hurt more than he expected. I don't hate Derek. That surprises people. But hate gives too much power to someone who was never really the obstacle. The obstacle was the story I let others tell about me. The moment I stopped accepting it, everything changed. So here's my question for you. How many times have you been talked over, overlooked, or quietly dismissed because you didn't fit someone's idea of what confidence should look like? And how long did you wait, hoping it would fix itself? Do you think silence is strength or just comfort for people who benefit from it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them. And if you've ever been underestimated, remember this. Staying quiet doesn't make you noble. It just makes it easier for the wrong people to win.